Hi, and welcome to Tottenham Tantra Gold, your home, the new home of your classic games, content, and everything to do with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Yeah, we are going back to basics next week, but we're going to concentrate firstly on the game yesterday, the Brentford Tottenham at the Brentford Stadium. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the rumours of Conte and PSG. We're looking at some of the transfers. We're going to go through a wide range of topics tonight on this late post-match show. So we're going to end your weekend on a positive note. You'll go into Monday morning waking up full of energy, positively that Spurs will win next weekend. With me is my very own stats man. He's like the young Skywalker of the Tottenham community. He's been taught by Jack Kanicki, who for me is like the Obi-Wan Kenobi of this stats world. He will be bringing up the stats. He will bring up the formations, explaining to people what went wrong, why we haven't had a shot on target in 2 days, and why we can still get top four. That is important. As a fan base, we will get top four, and we are going to do it. So, good evening there, Izan. How are you this evening, sir?
I mean, could be better after that result, but hey, at least we didn't lose because we did thoroughly deserve to lose that game, but we came through with a point, so things could have been worse.
Yeah, it could have been. I'll tell you one thing: we'll still finish fourth, but we're still going to qualify for the Champions League.
For sure, it's still on. Let's not lose hope yet.
No, we'll never lose hope. I will never lose hope. Right. Firstly, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping, and then we will crack on. Firstly, I want to welcome all the Patreon members to Moondog, Mark Cousins, Philip Brady, William Kelly, Wayne Bonner, Aaron Dobb, and Izan. You can become a Patreon member. The link is in the chat. There's three areas. There's a TGG member, there's a Bill Nick member, and there's a Conte member, all for a £5. They're all the same price. You just pick where you come. It does help. People that pay the memberships does help. It makes this channel will grow. That means we can get better road games on. We can get better equipment and make our shows better for you. So they do help. And also we've got a mug. So after 3 months of your first 3 payments, you will get a Conte TGG mug as well. So, that's coming out. Sort that out today. So, but thank you for everyone who's become a Patreon member to start off with. And we'll get through some of these comments first, and then we'll get cracking on into it. Welcome some people in.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got Anthony Gray. Big up, Anthony. Thank you for joining us. He says, I simply can't understand how basically the exact same players create chances, scoring goes freely to now, not creating chances, not scoring. Anyone explain why or how? Izan, can you explain that to Anthony Gray? Because I can't.
Yeah, look, I basically what I wanted to say was that we were not really creating the best of chances, even against the likes of Aston Villa and Newcastle. So that might be confusing because we scored 4 against both Villa and Newcastle, right? But against Aston Villa, our XG was only around 0.6, and against Newcastle, it was only around 1.5. So we were wildly outperforming our expected goals, the expected goals metric, and that's usually a sign that you cannot keep scoring. Like you can't keep it up scoring that way.
Yeah.
So we just weren't creating the best chances. And with the added addition of the fact that teams are sort of figuring us out, I think that's why we're struggling.
Yeah, I think also the pressure might have got to the players yesterday with Arsenal playing first, but it shouldn't do. They've paid enough money to go out there and do a job. So you could put Brighton off to an off day, but I'm not going to get too down of it because you can go down the road of being down and slagging off the players and this is what they shouldn't do. We'll have to remain sort of confident, but I understand great thing. He also says They look tired, fatigued, slower passing. Could it be tiredness with no rotation plus Conte's well-known intense training? In between, just both combining at the end of a long season to fatigue. Um, I, I I don't think so. I think all the other teams are in the same boat as well when it comes to fatigue. I
Mhm.
just think generally Dyer played bad yesterday. The team played bad. What we got away with it. And if you can
Mhm.
play bad and get a point, then that's a good. You should take the positives out of that. Um, I just think.
I don't. Yeah, yeah.
No, go on,
I
Nicola.
agree. I don't think it's the fatigue because we're only playing one game a
Mm,
week, so there's no way it can be the fatigue. Even with a lack of rotation, only one game a
mm,
week, you have plenty of time to get rest in between those games. So,
mm,
and like these, like let's not forget these guys are being paid millions of pounds per year
mm,
to play football. So like get on with it, you know. It's not to say fatigue is not is irrelevant,
mm,
but if you're only playing one game a week and every single other team in the league is doing the same, and
mm,
you know, Man City, Liverpool, and even Chelsea up until they got eliminated, they were still like playing the cup games, Champions Leagues, and they're still performing, albeit they have deeper benches and better
yeah.
squads, but you know, like there's no excuses here
No,
because we're only playing one game a week, like the majority of the Premiership, and the top teams, which eventually we want to compete against, they're playing more than one game a week
mm,
because they have their European games, FA Cup games, and whatnot. You know, there's just no excuses.
no, there is no excuse. And as you say, we don't have the biggest squad, but the
Hmm.
players that do come in should be able to do a job.
Yeah.
But that means the squad is not. We haven't got the players there to rest the players. Like if Bentacore has an injury, who do we put in next to? If Skippy's out for the season, we've got Winks. It's just I don't know. It's frustrating. It's very very frustrating. But as I said, I think we will still do top four. William Kelly, big up William, my Irish brother, who may be popping on actually later. It says, big up, boys. Great to see you on camera again, Dermot. I'm actually glad to be back, doing it properly, not doing it behind the badge, back on the screen where I love being. So thank you, William. And he's a Patreon member too. And then we've got Hit Young Poddy. Big up Hit. He says, I think the other teams have figured out Kulu. I don't think so, but what would you say that is then? Do you think other teams have figured out Kulu?
I think not necessarily figured out a single player. I think it's more so they've figured out our system and the way we're
Mm-hmm.
looking to score goals, and identified more of the team's weaknesses, I think, more so than an individual player.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I think we looked sluggish yesterday. I think we looked sluggish. I mean, Emerson was awful. We will get into him, but Lord Jesus, please do something. Send them to the circus. I don't care what you do with them. I mean, Mr. Blobby could come in and do a better job. Swear to God. He did a pass to Sanchez during the match, right? And he just did it far too hard. And it missed Sanchez completely and it ran out of play. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm 45, overweight, breathing problems. I could do a better job than he could. That says something. Talk to me. The man cannot defend. Honest to God,
We bought the only Brazilian that can't play football.
yeah, exactly. We really have. Hit again. Put in. He has been missing. He has been the missing link for the last two games, in my opinion. Um,
I think that
yeah, I'll
other
let you answer
players
that.
have also. I think
Mm,
other players have also not turned up.
mm,
Kane has not turned up in the past two games. Our wing backs have also not turned up in the last two games. So I don't think it's fair to single out Kulusevski. Although yes, he has been poor the past
mm,
two games. It's not fair to single him out and say he's the missing link when
no.
there are other players that have been much worse than him.
Would you put like Who would you call the worst player yesterday you saw in the whole team yesterday? I
It
know there's a
has to
list.
be. I know everyone will jump on Emerson, but I think it was probably Sessegnon, the worst player on the pitch. Either Sessegnon or Emerson, but I'm probably going to go with Sess.
Yeah,
Probably Sessegnon. Yeah.
I would have said Dyer, but his
Oh yeah,
defending
Dyer
was
was poor as
yesterday.
well. Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
either Dyer, Sessegnon,
yeah.
Emerson, even Kane or Kulusevski. Maybe you
Kane
could
Kane
say.
looked Kane looked off for me yesterday, but he was trying. I think Sonny looked off the page yesterday. I think
I
the
thought
whole
Son was
team.
the best out of the
Yeah,
forwards. Yeah, Son
mm,
was definitely the best out of the forwards. But yeah, the whole team, other than like Romero, was pretty atrocious.
yeah, and Hugo. I mean, some of his decision
Hmm.
making was a bit suspect at that, but that's for later in the show. We got Alexander Hilton. Big up Alexander. He said steak. He wanted his steak with his Brighton meal yesterday. That's what he wanted. William Kelly says steak. William can just go into the Australian outback and find himself some steak out there, cook it on the barbie, and have it nice and ready with a few mushrooms and that. Big up, guys. Um, we have Anthony Gray, and I'm just going to bring in the man from down under in with us as well.
Nice.
There we go. There's the man from down under.
Hi, boys. How are you?
How are you? Not too bad. I'm just going to bring up this question from Anthony Gray. He says, this is actually a few years now about fatigue. He says, I totally agree, the one match a week, but if the training in between is very intense, it's still not a possibility. Can't understand why we're passing so slowly. We just seem tired. What would you say to him, Izan, on that?
Look, I don't think it's Conte's training methods. Like he's been successful everywhere he's went. I mean, he was successful at Inter when they were playing in Europe, and at Chelsea as well. So I just don't think it's his in over intensive training methods. And if it is, these players clearly are not cut out for it. I mean, we're just going in circles, blaming the manager, blame Mourinho. Levy thought Pochettino was the problem, sacked him. Mourinho was the problem, sacked him. Conte is the problem. I think we're just going in circles, blaming the manager. These are three elite managers that, that are apparently not good enough for Spurs. And if these guys are not good enough for Spurs, I mean, who the hell is?
William, is it about time the players took responsibility?
Oh, Dermot, we've been saying this for a long time.
Yeah.
What Izan said there is exactly, he hit up the nail on the head. Because we can't continue to blame managers.
No.
There's certain players in this squad that are not good enough to fill that Tottenham Hotspur jersey. We've known it for a long time. Conte knows it. He's not silly. He knows it. He has relayed this back to the board. They know what they have to do in the summer. Get it done. Just get it done. Get rid of these players. Davies and Dyer, Emerson, Reguilon, all those players are not good enough for Tottenham.
No.
They're not good enough to get you to the next level. Pochettino suffered under these guys. Mourinho suffered under these guys. And now Conte is suffering under these guys. And I hear people going out of their way to say, oh, Conte needs to change his tactics. He needs to do this. He needs to do that. Here's my question to these people. If that's the case, then you go in there and do the job and see how well you get on with these players, because these are clearly the problem at Tottenham Hotspur. Clearly. And the thing about Harry Kane, I'm not going to come on here and diss Harry Kane because he is a brilliant player. But if you look at the last two matches, he has been man-marked heavily throughout the whole games. So clearly these teams have earmarked Harry Kane to stop him from coming out of that position into the number 10 and releasing Son over the top, which has stopped Tottenham up top, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
and the best players in the world, and I said this on Bobby's channel, Bob Spurs channel, some of the best players in the world, like Pirlo, was man-marked out of games, And people go, oh, well, he's quality, he should be able to do it. It's not very easy when you've got someone on you constantly. Brighton did it with such great effect, and so did Brentford yesterday, which means then other players need to step up to the mark. And the problem at Tottenham is we just don't got it. We ain't got it.
We haven't got the mentality.
The mentality has not been there. The mentality got Pochettino sacked, for Christ's sake, And look, this team, I want them to get top 4, as much as everybody else. But they're going to fail. They are going to fail, and they're going to fail. They might slightly fail, but they'll fail because they're designed to fail. It's the same players, the same guys,
Yeah.
I just think we need a change. We need a change badly in personnel and in mentality on that field.
Yeah, and Izan's going to go through that. We'll just go through some of these comments and we'll get your stats up, Izan, because Izan's put a lot of work into the slides tonight and different really put a lot of work in, bless him. Anthony Gray says, as a swimmer, I know the importance of rest and tapering. Yeah, we get that. But it's not
fatigue, Ned. It's not fatigue. No. These players are they've been playing in the Premiership for how long? For years. They know their own bodies. They know what they're capable of. It's not Conte's training methods, because Pochettino was quite hard on the training as well. You know what I mean?
And so was Mourinho.
And he was well known for it. He was well known, and that's why Tottenham won a lot of games late on against teams, because they had that extra in the tank. So it's not fatigue. It is not fatigue. It's a mentality thing. They give up too easy.
Yeah. Izan, what would you say to Anthony Gray there about the swimming thing? Do you agree with him, or do you agree with William, what he's saying?
No, look, rest is important. But like I said, we're playing one game a week.
Yes.
Don't we want to get into Europe where we're going to be playing 2 games in the league? Don't we want to make cup runs? If we can't even perform with one game in a week, we're never going to win a trophy. We're never going to win a Carabao Cup or FA Cup or anything if one game a week is making these players tired. That means you're just not good enough then to be a Premier League player.
What would they do is, and if they actually got into the Champions League and had to play on a Wednesday? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the Europa League.
FA Cup games, Carabao Cup games. What would they do?
I'm over people complaining about this fatigue thing. Seriously, these are professional players. They know what's ahead of them. They get paid millions, for Christ's sake. Stop whinging and get on with it. What needs to be done?
The one complaining last year when there was European Championships to become up to, you see them, all of them playing and getting ready. I think that's fatigue. I can understand in some sports fatigue and tiredness is a thing, but for Jesus, these players are paid 200,000-300,000. I mean, I'm overweight. I'm 45. Yourself, William, probably a bit younger than me.
I'm 45, Dermot. I'm the same age as you.
We'll go out there and play 4 times a week if we had to.
Man, we used to, as kids in Ireland, all right, this is the God's honest truth. In the summertime, our village, there wasn't very many women in our village, girls. It was just guys. Yeah. And what we did was we would set up the old football field in front of our houses, and we actually made nets out of baling twine. Yeah. We designed nets for the goals, and we played from 7-8 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. And the only time we had breaks was when we'd get water breaks, or we'd go and get our dinner, and then we'd back out again. And that was all during the summer. I know we were only kids at the time, but we loved it. It's that's what you do. These guys,
I remember playing in Mullingar, doing the same thing. You know,
Yeah.
you're out first thing in the morning. The only time you hear is your mother calling in for your dinner, coming in, and you're out then to the darker night, and you come in.
Yes. See,
No
I think the
problem for us.
problem as well with a lot of these players, Dermot, is that it's money, and it's not about the love of the game anymore as well. I think it's affected it very, very bigly, very badly, and it's hard because when you go into to be from a child into an adult, you know, the only thing you really think of is money because and it's on their mind all the time, isn't it? Even though they're
Yeah,
making so much, they just want to make more. Like,
I mean,
play the
I
game
mean,
for the love of the game. You know what I mean? Look at someone like Ronaldo. He plays it because he loves it.
Yeah,
Do
that's
that.
right. You look at Izan. I mean, Izan is in his 20s. If he was coming into it now, he'd be thinking, right, how much money can I make for the future? Where,
Yeah.
you know, to me, like when we were young, we're thinking now we play because we play for the love of it. You look at Dele Alli as an example.
Yeah. Oh, that's just, yeah.
I mean, he came on for everything today, and I started laughing. I said, somebody put in one group, I feel down after the Everton game. I said, think of the Everton fans who've just watched Dele Alli run onto the pitch.
Yeah.
They must have been thinking, oh, God. But anyway, we've got to crack on with these because the comments are getting a bit behind. Big up Bobby. Bobby there, 3 Spurs boys, peace. Everyone get over to his young lads channels. It's very good.
That's it. It's brilliant.
He says, big up Dermot, Izan, and everyone in the chat. Big up Bobby. Alexander Hilton says, drop came deeper then. We will go into that later, Alexander, with Izan's brilliant slides. How does the fan feel about changing formation to fit our current squad? 4-2-4. He says a 4-2-3-1 maybe, so our left back and right back are more comfortable. Izan, what would you say to young Puddy there? Would you agree with him, or what formation would you put our current squad into?
Look, I don't think that changing the formation is really going to help us that much, because this formation has gotten us to be genuine top 4 contenders. The 5-2-3 or 3-4-3, however you want to call it, and the 4-2-3-1. Well, it won't work. The 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. Conte's not going to do it, and it won't work. And I'll just quickly explain why. So first of all, our defense is quite weak. Playing 4 at the back, we really struggle. Dyer struggles in a 4 at the back. I mean,
we get slaughtered. We'll get slaughtered.
We saw Sanchez struggle in a 4 at the back. I mean, we saw a 4-2-3-1 under Mourinho and Nuno. We saw 4-3-3 under Mourinho. I mean, this is the only formation where we've had any sort of success. The 5 at the back, because our defense is so weak. We need that extra defender in there. Secondly, with a 4-2-3-1, you need a number 10, central attacking mid. We don't have anyone in our squad that could play center attacking mid aside from Kulusevski. And then maybe you'd have to move someone like Lucas or Bergwijn onto the right wing. And another thing, in a 3-man midfield with a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, well, we only have 3 midfielders at the club. Well, first team midfielders. We have Winks, Bentancur, and Højbjerg. One injury, and we are screwed. We are genuinely screwed. So, yeah, like those are basically the reasons I can give you as to why we will not be playing anything 4 at the back, and nothing with a 3-man midfield, because we do not have the creative midfielder.
No.
And we do not, and we just don't have the squad depth for it. We only have 2 midfielders.
If you look at it as well, Izan, and you're exactly correct. If you look at it, like, even though we lost but we only lost by 1 goal. You know what I mean? We're not conceding very many goals with that formation. That's why Conte isn't going to change that formation. And the problem is he doesn't have the personnel to change it. So if you go to a 4 at the back, if you put Davies in a centre back with another pairing, he just doesn't play well there. You know what I mean? He plays well in 3 in the back. So what do? Do you pull Romero out and put him a right wing back and put Sanchez back there? Would you try that?
Well, I don't think Romero has ever played right wing back.
I know, but at least he does like to get forward a bit.
But
would you try it? Would you give it a try?
No, I wouldn't, because then we'd concede like 4 goals.
Yes, that's what I'm worried about. Because as soon as Sanchez comes in, he can't pass the ball anyway. He's bloody terrible. So it's just like everybody that wants to blame Conte and start, going, oh, why doesn't he change it? Like, do you not think that this manager, who is an elite manager, who's won titles everywhere he's went, has seen all these possibilities and worked out all these different possibilities and went, well, this is what I have, This is all I can do with what I have. And when you think about it, he's actually got some of these players to perform way above what they were originally doing for this team.
Yeah, Ben Davies, Eric Dyer. Yeah.
Right. It's like unbelievable. I honestly think that Conte has asked Bergwijn to play right wing back, and he refused. That's why Bergwijn doesn't get on ahead of Moura. That's why he doesn't play him very often. I think that's the issue. I think he's called him out. He's asked him, "Can you play this for the team? You will get on the field all the time," and he's refused to play that position.
Yeah, I think Bergwijn wants to leave. I mean, we saw that Snapchat story that he posted as well. Like, if you're not valued, doesn't matter how amazing you are. If you're not valued, you're worthless. Something along those lines. So yeah, I think Bergwijn just wants to leave.
I just don't get it, man. If you're asked to play in a position, you just play it. Just play it. Yeah, you do it for the team. It's not about individualism. It's about a team effort. And there lies another problem with Tottenham. It's always been individuals for Tottenham. There's no team spirit. You need a togetherness. You know what I mean? If you're going to win stuff, you need everybody on the same boat. If the manager tells you to be the water boy, you become the water boy. That's just what it is.
You look at the team of the 60s. You look at the team of the 70s. Even look at the team that went down in 76, 77. They fought for each other. They fought for the badge. Okay, they went down. You look at the team of the 80s, the leaders. You had Steve Perriman. You had Graham Roberts. You had Glenn Hoddle. Ozzy was a leader. You had, what's his name in the back? His name. Ray Clements was another leader. Chrissy Houghton was another leader.
Yeah.
You had Tony Galvin, who would give his mouth.
Great players, man. Great players.
You had, even in the 90s, Gary Mabbott. There was another leader of Tottenham. You had Steve Sedgley. You had Paul Stewart, who was another one that would lead by example. We had players, even going back to Dave Mackay, even before the 50 squad, the 20 squad, even John Cameron from 1901. He was
football has changed as well, Dermot. Even look at like Roy Keane. I made an example, used him as an example, because like you look at Roy Keane now when he's talking about Manchester United, and you can visibly see in his face how distraught he is from just seeing them the way they are. He just can't grasp that.
No.
People like him and Vieira at Arsenal, they were unbelievable leaders, of men.
Yeah.
And the problem with this Tottenham team is there's just not leaders in there, Someone that'll turn around and grab a player beside him and shake him and say, "Come on, you need to get going." But we don't have that at Tottenham.
No, we don't. Right, Ivan. Shall we get on with your work now? Show us. Right, we're going to go firstly. We're going to go through the Brentford Tottenham game, and then we've got a few other sections to go through. So, do you want to bring up your slides there, Ivan? We'll start going through can we put some sense into that performance yesterday? So I'll put you up to the top, and you can lead us then. So there you go, Ivan. Okay. All yours.
Yeah. So these were the lineups. I included the substitutions. At the bottom, we saw Brentford line up in a 5-3-2. We were in a 5-5-2-3 or a 3-4-3. But yeah, we both saw the teams play similar formations with a 5 at the back. They had an extra man in midfield while we had an extra man up top. Yeah. And you can see the subs at the bottom. Nothing too special here. I guess we can just go on to the next slide.
Just a quick question before you move on, is how did Brentford smother us so badly? How did they restrict us from playing? And how did we play so badly against that? I mean, we should have really pressed them, shouldn't we? But how come we didn't? Was the formation wrong, or was it just that we cannot play against this certain type of formation?
I mean, I think Brentford and Brighton played very similarly, where they pressed us in bursts. They didn't press us, they didn't go all out Liverpool. And then when we did bypass their press, we were just not quick enough to capitalize so they could get back and regroup in time, set up their low block when we had spells of possession, and we just couldn't break them down at all.
Yeah. William, I mean, you got the formations here. What would you have done different if you were Conte?
It's hard, isn't it? Like, the problem is Emerson just can't get forward. Like, and Reguilon's the same. I don't think Reguilon's a left wing back, and Sessignon didn't play well. It's difficult because you just don't have the personnel on the bench to change it. Like, every other team in the Premiership has a bench. We don't, So there's not much you can do about it. You just got to sit there and bear it, basically.
Yeah.
Like we talked about changing out Romero, but as soon as you put Davinson Sanchez in there, you're going to leak goals. And like what Izan said, we're not going to change that formation because that's what stops us from leaking so many goals. So you rely on Kane and Son to hit it off, and Kulusevski, and Bentancur in midfield. And it's just, if they get overpowered, you're in trouble, basically. I don't know. Honestly, I just can't wait till the summer because I just think there's a lot of changes need to be made at this club badly.
Yeah. Izan, with that first 11 there, who would you get out? Who's your first person on the out list for you?
Who's the first person who I would sell?
Yeah, if you were Conte, you say, right, you had a list, you're writing a list who to sell. Who's your first player on that list?
Like this, do I get to be realistic here? Like, do I have to be realistic or
go for it, Izan? Go for it.
Be delusional as you like.
Okay, to be honest, first player I would sell, it has to be either Sessignon or Emerson. To be honest, I think maybe even Ben Davies. But to be honest, he has been performing. So I guess out of that starting 11, probably Emerson, who needs to be upgraded the most. But yeah, it has to be one of those two if you were gonna say anyone.
I've got a question here for you, Izan, from Young Puddy. It says, put Dyer in the CDM to drop back into defence. Would you do that?
Then who would you play at centre back? Because I am with I do not want Sanchez playing centre back. I'd prefer Dyer. Look, they're both not the best options, but I think Dyer is a better centre back than Sanchez.
Well, he's better on the ball. He's better. Well, he's slightly better on the ball.
Yeah, he played yesterday, though, didn't he, Dyer? He rarely did. But big up, Young Poddy. Thank you so much for the question. What's next, Izan? Go on. What's your next slide, sir?
Just some basic stats here. This is nothing out of the ordinary. I have more advanced stuff later. But yeah, you can see here they had 15 shots, 2 on target, we had 9 shots, 0 on target. They had 44% possession. We had 56%. Passes, pass accuracy, those stats don't really mean much. 2 yellow cards for them, 1 yellow card for us. They had 12 corners. We had 8. So the final score was 0-0, but based on expected goals, they had 1.32 and we had 0.52. So I just put a note here that, like, yes, I know expected goals, it gets a lot of hate, but it's honestly quite an accurate statistic. So in the Premiership this season, there have been 908 goals scored as of April 23rd, yesterday. This is when I made the slides. So I'm not including the goals from today because I made these slides yesterday, and the expected goals metric actually predicted 917 goals this season. So the fact that you're only about 9 goals off the expected goals metric means that it's a very accurate method of predicting how many goals are going to be scored or who had the better chances. Because over all the Premier League seasons, 908 goals have been scored, and expected goals is saying 917.66 should have been scored. So that's just me defending expected goals as a metric. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it is much more accurate than
it makes a point to what you're trying to get across, doesn't it? And it's more easy to understand.
Yeah, it's easy to understand. They deserve to win. Brentford 100% deserved to win that game. We were lucky to come away with a draw, and this is now 2 games in a row without a shot on target. And there's more terrible stats regarding that coming up soon.
You're sending me to bed having a nightmare. I come on here to go to bed sleeping a positive thing. You're going to make me have a nightmare now. Can I just say one thing on the Brentford game? The only thing for me was our fans reacting to Ericsson when he took that corner.
Yeah, it was beautiful, wasn't it?
It was. There was a lot of people last night who saying we shouldn't have done it. We shouldn't have done nothing when he was taking the corner. The man nearly died when he did die.
Yeah.
So I thought if I was in the stand, I'd be clapping and singing these same dudes doing that corner. I really would.
Yeah, but the Tottenham fans have always been good, Dermot. Look at Saka when Arsenal came to play against Tottenham in that pre-season. Yeah, like the Tottenham fans are not known to be, brutal. Like they're very good that way, and it's great to see. I think it's good to see in football. It's good to show kids that as well. You know what I mean? To show proper emotion. It's excellent.
Izan, what did you think of seeing Ericsson yesterday? Did you get a bit emotional seeing him back playing against us, or we had him?
Yeah, he was close to death. Do I wish we had him now? Probably not. But like would I take him back in the summer? I would say no. He's getting up there in age. I mean, I think there's better options out there for us as well. And I just think that Ericsson also he down tooled when he wanted to leave to Inter. So like considering those factors, I just wouldn't take Ericsson back.
I'd have to disagree. I have to disagree on that. I'd have him back in a heartbeat. I think he'd make a huge difference to that team, and plus he gives that little bit extra that we are missing badly. And the whole thing about down in tools, when you have to deal with Daniel Levy and transfers, there's a reason why. I don't think he down tools. I think he just didn't perform to the level that he can. He's still done a way more running than anybody else. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm not a fan of this. He down tools, but it's well-known fact when you're dealing with Daniel Levy, as Harry Kane has found out. It's not a nice process. So You know, and a lot of players have come out and spoke about it. Like even Teddy Sheringham has come out and said about it. Darren Bent. You know, a lot of ex-Tottenham players have said how they've had to deal with Daniel Levy. So he's not a great experience.
No,
That's
he's
why
not.
a lot of teams in the Premiership hate us, is because of that man at the helm. They hate us because of him, because they hate dealing with him. So I disagree. I think Ericsson could be a key factor next season. I hope we do go and get him, because I think he could be important in important games when we do need him.
That's very interesting. Right, we've got the poor performances here. Oh, that's actually a good shout, William, I have to say, but we will get on to that. And also, Claudia Murphy put a thing about the Conte story. We are going to get into that in a bit. We're just going to do the rest of this Brentford game, but we are going to get into that in depth, because I think that's a story that needs to be talked about. We've got poor performance in Serie A. So do you want to run this through your...
Yeah.
We played badly yesterday?
Yeah, so I have Kane here. He had 2 shots, 0 on target, 2 attempted dribbles, none were successful, only 36 touches. Son had 65 touches, so nearly double the amount of Kane's. 0 key passes. Key pass is a pass leading to a shot. He had none of those. He only completed 9 passes out of 14. So he didn't attempt very many passes at all. And out of the ones that only 9 were successful, 64%. Pretty poor from Kane yesterday. We had Emerson. He had only 1 key pass. He only put in 1 cross. None were successful. 1 attempted long ball. None were successful. 29 successful passes out of 38. Only 76% were successful. He didn't offer anything creatively. Just 1 key pass, and he couldn't even. His passing was not that great either. Sessegnon lost possession 19 times. Only Ben Davies lost possession more in our squad. I believe Ben Davies lost the ball 20 times. Sessegnon lost the ball 19 times. Put in 8 crosses, none of which were successful. 0 key passes, 16 successful passes out of 22, 73%. I mean, just the passing, it was poor from our wing backs, let alone anything creatively. Key passes, crosses, just nothing, offered nothing going forward from both of our wing backs. Couldn't even keep it tidy. I mean, even the passing was poor. So, yeah.
Right, for me, Emerson is like Coco the Clown. He can't even do anything. I don't know why we bought him. I can't stand him. I wish we'd sell him. I mean, somebody said to me a while ago, he's running around with a shepherd's pie in his head. That's what it looks like. You look at him and you feel hungry.
I love shepherd's pie, mate.
Yeah. Right. You've got Harry Kane. Now, I will defend Harry Kane, because if I don't, Dave Harris will come after me. He'll drive down from Kilkenny and take me round Wexford. Right?
You don't want that man coming after you.
I don't want that man coming after me. So I have to defend Harry Kane, or be on the show shouting at me. I understand what you're saying about Harry, but Harry, if you can't supply Harry the ball, how's he supposed to? And as William said, he was being marked out of it. So how is he supposed to have a good game? You had 1 chance at the end, which was a very difficult chance, and he nearly scored from it.
That's it, Dermot, exactly. And what you're saying is exactly correct, Dermot. Like, if you actually look at the footage, watch how every time Harry Kane gets the ball to his feet, how that man is on top of him, holding on to him, using those tactics to knock him off the ball. If that's the case, then don't play the ball to Harry Kane. Play it over the top to Son. Change the tactics a little bit. You know what I mean? It's difficult because he's the main supplier of the ball for goals for Tottenham. And teams have worked it out. You know? They've worked it out.
And Sessi, the jury's still out. I agree with you, actually, with Segi. He played for, was it Hoffenheim in Germany?
Yeah.
Had a fantastic season with them. Played brilliant for Fulham. Since he's come to us, he's had injury after injury after injury after injury, and he's never had a good run. Do you know what? I'm going to put it out there, and people are going to laugh at me or shout at me. I think we're missing Doherty.
We are.
We are, because Doherty knows how to play a right wing back. You know what I mean? He's played that position before.
Yeah, but he was playing left wing back, and who did we have playing? Or they had it switched around, didn't they, before he got injured?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had a back five that knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And since he's got injured, since he's got injured, we've reverted back to how we played under. This is like how we played under Nuno.
Yeah. There's a lot of factors, and like it's tough, because it's the system Conte wants to play, but he just doesn't have the personnel.
That's true, and it is. And what would you do with second? I mean, you say they had 16 successful passes out of 22, 8 attempted crosses, and none were successful. What do you do with our win-backs? What's the solution to the win-back problem we've got?
You buy new ones, and I know that's like, but like, what can you do? I mean, Emerson, even when he was performing for Betis in Spain, he wasn't playing right wing back, he was playing right back. So these guys and these guys, they're just not made for that position. And that, like, you can do all the tactical changes, the nuances, the coaching you want, but player is not good enough. Like, they're not good enough. Like, you can't toss in a Sunday league center back and give him world-class coaching and then he's gonna perform the highest level. It's just it's just the players, the quality isn't there. I mean, and also, like I said, it can't be Conte's tactics, because he's been successful everywhere he's went. These tactics have gotten these players performing at a level they have never performed at before, like especially with the likes of Dyer and Davies. So like you just have to get through this season, do what you can, and then eventually try to buy new wingbacks in the summer.
Yeah, I suppose that's all you can do. But Lord Jesus, please get rid of Emerson. If you don't get rid of him, I will go to Tottenham.
Tie rocks to his feet, Dermot, and throw him in the team.
No, I won't even do that. I'll go to Tottenham myself. I'll put him in the car. I'll drive him to Spain, where Barcelona were, drop him off, ask Barcelona for our money back, because I said you sold us goods that are broken, right? And then drive back to Tottenham, give the money to Conte, go and buy who you want, and just go past Levy, because
one thing I will say is I don't think Emerson will be sold in the summer. And that's just because, well, first of all, it's only been one season with us. Second of all, Levy is not going to take a loss on a player, especially after one season. He's not going to sell him. And thirdly, like, he's still young. So then again, Levy will probably want, more return. And
he'll want ridiculous money for him. Yeah, exactly. Even though he performs that badly. Jesus Christ. The main problem at our club is that Levy. This guy
we are getting off to him. Don't worry. Levy is coming down the line. Right.
Yeah.
This question is for you, Izan. Because Levy is the problem. Believe me, he's the major problem. Izan, young Puddy's put this to you. Says, Emerson, I can understand he's playing out of position and he's a trash right wing back. But Sez should have come better than he did, considering his performances before his injury. What do you say to young Puddy there? Do you agree with him?
I mean, Sessegnon, right? I mean, even when he has played for Spurs, he's never really had a game where he's been in a super like attacking or creative force. I mean, the good games he's had are against like Liverpool and maybe Man City, where he was capable of defending well and doing his job and keeping things tidy, but we never got a performance where he offered much going forward ever. And most of the time he's just constantly injured. So with Cess, like, yeah, left wing back, I believe that was the position he played at Hoffenheim when he was on loan. But for Spurs, it just he's never been the player that we that we bought him to be. That creative force on the left hand side. I believe he did play as a winger for Fulham and left wing back for Hoffenheim, but he's just not been that attacking player that we need.
Yeah, I agree with you, William. This question here for Brian, I'll start a few actually, but this question to Brian Maguire sort of ties into who we're talking about at the moment. If Kane doesn't play well, we struggle. Now you see the stats here Izan has put together. 2 shots, none on target. 2 shots, none on target. Let me see. The rest of them, 2 attempts, dribbles, non-successful, 36 touches. Son had 55. No key passes, 9 successful passes out of 14. Does that ring true? When Kane doesn't play well, we don't play well.
Most definitely, Dermot. Most definitely. He's the link to the forwards. You know what I mean? And you watch against Leicester in the next game. Leicester won't man mark. They don't do that.
No.
So you watch, Kane will have the freedom to be able to drop deep, get the ball, and you watch, you'll see a different Tottenham. And it'll prove the point that if you man mark Kane out of the game, Tottenham struggle. It's kind of leading to what Alex does say, that that Tottenham are Kane FC. We do rely on him a lot, we do.
Don't go down that road. Please don't go. We'll take you back. We're taking you back. Don't go down that road, William. Please don't.
You'll be dropped from the link. Ding.
No.
But it is, though. Dermot, he is a huge part of that Tottenham team.
Yeah, he is.
Huge part. And if he doesn't perform, yeah, you can see it. It heads drop all around,
Yeah, it does. It does. But I'll tell you, Izan, so brilliant what you've done so far. So what's your last slide here now? These have been really brilliant what you've got up. So what's your last slide?
There's some more advanced stats.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm not sure, like, if you see the first line where it says PPDA versus Brentford 14.36, like the image on the right sort of covers it. In the slides, there's like a clear gap, but I think it's a StreamYard thing where it's just covering like a bit of the word.
Oh, sorry, it's the badge. It's our little emblem. I'll take that off.
Oh, it's not an issue. I can just read it out. But so PPDA, have you guys heard of that stat before? Yeah. I'm sure you have. Passes per defensive action. So it's essentially a measure of how intense a team presses. So this is the higher the PPDA, the lower the intensity. So you're allowing the other team to string together more passes per defensive action. So a defensive action is like a tackle, a block, an interception, right? So we allowed, on average, Brentford to get 14.36 passes off before making a defensive action, whereas normally under Conte, we have our PPDA at 12.72. So that means that we were pressing not as effectively and not as intensely against Brentford than we usually do. There's another stat, OPPDA, opponent passes allowed per defensive action in the opposition half. This is very similar to PPDA, but instead of pressing intensity, this is a measure for how well a team plays out from the back. So this is how many passes your team gets off, how much the opponent allows in your own half before a defensive action.
Yeah.
So today our OPPDA was 14.88, and under Conte it's at 12.94. So we were stringing together a few more passes than we usually do, but I don't think that we played out from the back particularly well. I think this stat is just slightly inflated because we had quite a bit more possession. Yeah, so I think the main issue wasn't really our possession of the ball or playing out from the back, although Dyer did have some mistakes there. I think our main issue was we were not pressing as intensely as we usually do. We should have pressed them high because Brentford were comfortable sitting back and accepting the draw. And at the end of the day, it was Brentford that were going for the win. If anyone deserved to win, it was them.
Yeah.
So I also have these other pretty depressing stats. No side has won fewer points in London derbies this season than Tottenham. Of course. Spurs have scored the least goals in London derbies this season. Of course, this is the fourth time Tottenham have gone a game in the Premier League without a shot on target, the most of any other team. 4 games we've gone without a shot on target, and 3 of those came under Conte. I mean, this is not me blaming Conte or anything, but that is quite worrying. When you have a world-class manager like that and you still can't get shots on target, like 0 the whole game, that is quite worrying.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And then it's these stats make me depressed.
It's these players. These players need to take a long, hard look at themselves. Yeah. They really do.
By Brian Maguire, he says, "Can someone put the young lads link in the
description? I believe
description, please." Yeah, he is. I forgot to do it. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Oh, Dermot, how could you?
I know. I'm sorry. But Izan, I tell you one thing. Them stats have been brilliant. I mean, I couldn't do it myself. You put a lot of work into that, sir.
Yeah, very good, Izan. I've got one question for you, okay? If our stats are really poor in London derbies, does it make you really worried about the Arsenal game?
I mean, yeah. I mean, when we did face Arsenal, we got thrashed, albeit it was under Nuno. We didn't have the squad that we didn't have Kulusevski and Bentancur, but you know, it does make me worried because it seems that there is a mentality issue at this club where we can't perform in the London derbies. We have the least goals, we have the least points, so I think we have every right to be worried for the Arsenal game.
Right.
Because the pressure that's going to be on for that game is going to be as big as, if not even bigger than what the Champions League final was. You know?
And can these players cope with that pressure? That's the thing.
Well, they obviously can't. They've showed it to us on many occasions. I'm really worried. I just
Yeah, it is. Can we get top 4? I got Young Puddy says his. Why you say it, Mr. William Kelly? LOL. I have to say, yes, I tell you, no wonder I call you the young Skywalker, where Jack's Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's taught you well. He'd be a very proud master of the dark world, of the dark stats world. I tell you, he's done brilliant.
Do you do a transfer thing as well, Izan?
Yeah, we did. I did do a transfer show on this channel. I'm doing another one. So in the first transfer show, I covered forwards and midfielders. In the next one, I'm going to cover wingbacks and defenders. So yeah, those are the positions that we really need. So yeah, it'll be pretty enjoyable.
He's become our stats man of this channel, and he's going to do all the stats from the past and everything.
So if we don't get top 4, if we narrowly miss out on top 4, like the prediction I gave you, throw me a list of players that you think we should get, and I'll ask her if any of those players we sign.
All right.
There you go.
Knowing Levy, it's not going to be many that we sign, but
it'll be just like. It'll be no, maybe, no, maybe.
It'd be like going to see your bank manager for a loan. Yeah, I'd like a loan to do an extension. There's all my things. And you go, no, that's Levy for you.
Yeah.
Idiot. That man, oh God, he gets my blood boiling. Right.
Oh, Dermot, don't start me. Don't start me.
No, I know. I'm trying. I'm just glad Brian Daigle's not watching this because he'd be on here within 2 minutes flat. He's probably he's a Tanner's probably tweaking now. Here, Levy. I just better check my phone to make sure he isn't asking for the link.
I was on with I can't remember who was on. Oh, I think it was David Harris.
Yeah.
And I told him, that there's a strong woman coming in at Tottenham. There's changes at the top, and a strong woman was coming in. And Dave Harris turned around and he goes, "It must be Levy's wife." Well, Brian Daigle just went, "Oh." We were wetting ourselves laughing. Oh God! Could you imagine it, Dermot? Levy's wife coming in.
Oh Jesus! Oh no! I'd just go to drink. I'd just say, "Where's the bottle of whiskey? Quick on the bottle of vodka, quick!" Right? He says, "Izan, with these stats, I'll only watch you after a win." I have to say, Izan, I'm sitting there, right, and I'm in awe of what you've done tonight. I really am. They were absolutely fantastic. I couldn't do it. And William probably could do it, but I'm in awe of you.
No, I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even attempt it, man.
We all know we're crap, but this is actually putting facts. We are shy sometimes. Yeah. But we're going to get top 4. I'm having nothing about it. We are going to get top 4, and I know we are. So I'm not going to beat that drum where.
I hope we do, Dermot. But as I said, that lady said we narrowly miss out.
Yeah. Oh, well, either paying her another visit and paying her another few quid just to change that answer.
I asked her 3 times, Dermot. She was laughing at the end of it.
Yeah, well, you can say 4 times a charm.
Look, I've already said on streams as well, if we don't get top 4, it's not the end of the world. It really isn't.
It's not.
No. I don't think it changed the outlet to what this summer is for Tottenham. It's huge. It's more than huge. What happens, it could lead to Conte leaving the club. It could lead to a lot of things happening. So it's huge this summer. What happens?
Mm-hmm.
It is huge. It's top 4 now. I think it was Bobby. Big up Bob Spur. Loved the show last night. You're on there, Will. Absolutely loved every minute of it.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Such a hoot what I saw of it. I watched the rerun actually today. Absolutely love watching Bob. He put a poll out a while ago saying, if we got top 4, this would be bigger an achievement than we did under Harry Redknapp when we got it first time round. I'll start with you, Izan. Would you think this would be a massive achievement for us if we did get top 4 this season?
I mean, it would be a massive achievement because if we got top 4, I mean, the likes of, Arsenal and other teams have spent quite a bit more than us. And if we were to finish above them in the table, it would be an absolutely massive achievement. We know that the transfer budget, like our net spend is not the highest, not where it should be, because in terms of financial fair play, we have 400 million pounds that we are allowed to spend. This is not me saying that we have 400 million in the bank and we're going to spend it.
But chance of it.
Yeah, in terms of financial fair play, we have 400 million that we are allowed to spend before exceeding that cap, which is actually the most in world football. That to me means that in terms of that we have spent the least amount of money in terms of turnover than any other team in world football.
And that's exactly why we've gone through so many top class managers.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Levy realized it too late. I mean, once he shouldn't have sacked Pochettino, in my opinion. I was never Poch out. I was never Mourinho out. even Nuno at the time, I wasn't Nuno out after the Man United loss because I didn't think Conte or any other manager would come in. But now that we have a world-class manager in Conte, we've already gone through two other elite managers in Pochettino and Mourinho. So it just cannot be the manager's fault anymore. And all the numbers, all the stats, it all points to the same thing. I mean, we can even see it on the football pitch. There needs to be more investment in recruitment, and that just has not been there at all.
And plus, the players that we have got in and spent money on haven't been very good. It's been poor recruitment.
I mean, garden gnomes have gone down in value since Nuno left our club. I mean, the garden gnome sale has gone down. I want to ask you, young lad, William, does he think Tottenham will get top 4?
Lukey, you think Tottenham will get top 4?
Yeah.
He said yes.
Good man. What's he reading?
He's not reading. He's playing his Nintendo Switch.
Oh, is he? Oh, bless him. What's he saying? Mario Brothers?
No, Fortnite.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't think even he can help it now. Can we buy him?
He's attacking me.
What, Jesus?
And then you got the dog. Look at the dog, Dermot, under the covers.
I think the dog looks more depressed than we did after yesterday.
This is just a great house.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've got young Poddy here. Big up Luke as well. Nice to see you. Considering what we've been through this season, definitely means more than with Redknapp this season. I actually agree with that.
Yeah, I would agree as well.
William, we remember when Redknapp got us there, our first season Champions League, Bale scoring the hat-trick at Inter Milan, all the enthusiasm. We got to the final, the matches against Ajax and Man City. We were on the cusp of something special. We really were as a club.
Yeah, of course.
Was it masking? Was it? What I'm trying to ask, from the Redknapp up to Poch left, were we just putting sticky tape over sticky tape over sticky tape over the cracks that were?
I don't think it was sticky tape, Dermot. I think it's just a case of we got lucky. We got lucky with Redknapp and we got lucky with Pochettino. And I think the thing is, like you think about, like we went 3 windows with Pochettino with no signings.
Yeah.
Like that.
I mean,
who in their right mind in the Premiership would do that? And I remember on Sky Sports, I remember the likes of Gary Neville and players like ex-players like that saying, "Oh, but where will Tottenham strengthen their team? Like they're pretty amazing as they are." But now rewind forward and look at Liverpool. Look how Liverpool keep adding to that team constantly. But they're adding class players to that team constantly. So to keep them in that position where they are. And there lies the problem with Tottenham. They just weren't doing what you meant to do.
No. Sorry, William, go on, sorry.
No, go ahead, mate, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off. Go
on. No, I've lost train of thought now. Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm just
That's not all right, don't you just slide it for me.
Sorry. Oh, God, I'm having a nightmare. Now, I was just going to make a point to you. We did it under Bill Nick. We won the double. We went out and bought Jimmy Greaves. We did it before the 70s success. Okay, we got rid of Jimmy Greaves, but we brought in Martin Peters and players like that. We did it in the early 80s. We brought in Ozzy Ardiles, Graf Crooks, Ricky Villa. Mickey Hazzard came through the youth system. Glenn Hoddle came through the youth system. Graham Roberts was bought from non-league. All that side was down to Bill Nick. Any successful side we had from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s and 80s, Bill Nick had his DNA going through somewhere along them lines.
That's it. Well, Pochettino said it clearly. I remember that before the Champions League, his press conference, and he said, "Look, I'm probably not going to be the manager of Tottenham if we win this. Because he knew, Pochettino had been screaming out for players. Then you have, Levy is such a liar. Like, he comes out and he goes, oh, we've had managers and I've said, oh, do you want to buy this one? And they've refused. No, they don't want to buy what you want. They want to buy what they want. There's the problem. He's such a control freak at this club. And he controls everything down to the narrative, and it's just ridiculous.
It is. I mean, Izan, you've been a Spurs fan. You've only known Levy and Enoch.
Yeah,
me and William and Lockie have known the Richardsons, and then Scholar, and then Sugar.
Well, I started supporting Tottenham in the it would have been like 89, 88. So I seen the FA Cup final 1991, that win, and I've seen only 2 trophies basically. So 2008 as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've supported Spurs since I was born. I went to the UEFA Cup final. Me and Cooper were actually at the same game.
And I remember you saying that.
He was in one stand, and I was in the east stand. He was in the south stand. It's quite ironic, really. Big up Cooper if you're watching, man. Hope you're well, brother. And we've seen success. We've known what it's like to have success. I feel sorry for Izan.
I do too.
And fans that have supported. Do you look back on the golden days with envy? Do you think, God, I wish I was around for that? Or do you accept being a Spurs fan now because you've only just had Levy as chairman? Put this into your mind as a fan being through the Levy era.
Yeah, look, it would be nice to see more trophies other than just a League Cup when I was 6 years old. That too, a League Cup. But if we're being real here, Levy, although he is a poor chairman, or at least not a very good one, he is better than Alan Sugar. So it could be worse. I know that just what I tell myself to cope, but that's how I cope with it. At least he's better than Alan Sugar. I know it's like comparing Messi to a Sunday League footballer. It's a pointless comparison because you're comparing someone that's so bad, like a Sunday League footballer.
Do you not think you should, for a lot of young Tottenham fans, maybe like yourself, okay? Do you not feel like you should not accept that situation?
No, I mean, we shouldn't. For a club like Tottenham, who are basically a top 6 club, right? In the Premier League, based on every metric, on fan base, income, popularity, right, history, on every single metric where you can classify a club, we are a top 6 club in the Premiership, and we are the only ones that haven't won a trophy in the past 10 years, if even longer than that. It's been 14 years now. So that's just unacceptable. It really is. I mean, the teams like Sevilla and Villarreal have won the league.
I know. Yeah.
And the thing is, Sevilla in the past 5 years have a transfer net spend of positive 20 million in the transfer market. They're making profits in transfers, based on their net spend. And they've won the Europa League, and they're second in La Liga over the likes of Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. And the reason for that is because their board is very hands off. They have a they have a football director of football. He makes all the transfer decisions, and their board is very supportive of them and the manager. And they play a nice counter-attacking style of football, similar to us. They have a strong defense. Their recruitment is spot on, and we've seen them win multiple Europa League titles. We've seen them challenge for the Copa del Rey's. They're second in the league currently. Obviously they can't compete against the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona in terms of league success because those clubs are on a whole other scale. but they have still found success with a limited transfer budget, and and in Europe, in the Europa League and whatnot. But like,
That sounds like a Levy dream.
But
Yeah.
no, it should be every fan's dream. Why can't we do the same? We have a bigger budget. We have, we have a bigger fan base. We have the allure of the Premier League, and we're a freaking Conference League team. Let's
But
be real.
why do you think so many fans accept this situation?
Well, first of all, I think the main reason is that Alan Sugar was a terrible, terrible chairman.
Right, can I stop you there, Ivan? Just stop you there for a minute about the Sugar. I'm getting a little bit, the smoke starting to come now. Alan Sugar did something for us. He saved our club.
No, he did, but he also ran us into the ground.
Yeah, but for the good or the bad of Alan Sugar, he spent his money, his own money.
Mhm.
He bought in players like Klinsmann, Popescu, Dumitrescu. Okay, he did. There's a lot of wrong that Sugar did wrong, but he saved our club. We wouldn't have a club now if it wasn't for Alan Sugar. And for the good and the bad with him, I have to stick up for him on that point. He spent his own money. When it comes to transfers, he spent his own money. Now, I understand when you're saying Levy has done nothing but hinder us. I understand what you're saying about Sugar, but he saved our club, and we have to.
But it's not just Levy, Dermot. We have an owner that doesn't exist. He's nowhere to be seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's true. Ivan, what do you want to see different? What would make you happy now? You're a young Spurs fan. You've only lived under one chairman. Do you want him out?
No, I do want Levy out. But the thing is, the reason I don't go on and saying Levy out, Levy's the worst thing ever, Levy's the devil, the reason I don't go around saying that is because, I know he's not going to leave. Like, realistically, this guy will be here, like, for the next 10 years. If I'm being perfectly honest with you guys.
It won't be 10, Izan. It won't be 10. The lady told me.
I don't think, but, like, realistically, I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. Levy.
No, he's not. No.
And the thing that would make me happy, like, realistically, is if Levy took a back seat in terms of football business. He gave Paratici, the director of football, and Conte, look, all he needs to do, give them a reasonable budget and give them a reasonable transfer budget, a reasonable wage budget, and let them do whatever the hell they want. And Levy can just,
I think there's big changes, guys. I think there's big changes coming in around that board. And I think Levy is the one that's going to be out of the footballing issues altogether.
To give Levy some credit, I believe that he has taken a backseat in these past 1 or 2 windows, because transfers like Dele Alli leaving on a free, terminating Aurier's contract, like things like that, he wouldn't have allowed. And he even let us bring in Bentancur and Kulusevski. I have to give him some credit for that. I know that we don't like giving Levy credit, but to be fair, the other
it took him 21 years, but that's okay.
Yeah. No, I know it doesn't justify like all the crap. I want him out. Like just to let everyone know, I want him out too. But the rest of the teams in the top 4 race, they didn't upgrade their squads, and we spent around 30 to 40 million on Kulusevski. We spent 19 million euros on Bentancur. So in some regard, Levy does get credit. But the thing is, when you consider the fact that because of our outgoings, we saved 40 million on the wage budget, and we spent around 40 million euros in the winter window, I think you can see where the money is coming from.
Yeah, but that doesn't make good for what happened for the last 21 years.
No, I agree. Like, if you're gonna criticize someone for Levy, like criticize Levy's decisions, I think you do have to credit him for the good he has done as well. Like I said, he's not the devil. He is a bad chairman, but he's not like the worst thing ever. Is what I'll say.
We're having a look around Williams' house at the moment. There's a lovely
Sorry,
table.
man. Sorry.
Right. We'll actually crack on. We've got
the dog
young
nearly went flying off the bed. Luke's jumping up and down the bed. I'm trying to stop him. The dog's nearly come flying off the bed.
Oh, this is a brilliant show. Young Buddy, he really is. I'm really enjoying this. He says, I see Levy as a businessman, not as a football man. I would like to see someone take over the club with the same passion as the fans. I mean, we all love somebody to take over that's going to put money into the football side of it, to buy the best players, to back Conte. But that leads me on. Big up, Yodi, young project. Brilliant comment there. But that actually leads me on to this one, the last bit of the show now. Conte's rumours to Paris Saint-Germain. Now, tonight, or early today, there was rumours going around that Poch has been sacked from PSG. Well, not yet anyway. I think he's going to be sacked in the next few days. There's rumours going around. I think it was Claudia Murphy said, we've had a comment out earlier, but it was, where is it? Yeah. Brian Maguire says, doesn't Conte had offered himself to PSG, and that Poch will come back to Tottenham, and Conte and Paratici as well, I think, is apparently, so the rumours is going to PSG as well. I don't think it's true. I don't think Conte will leave. I think Conte will stay at PSG, stay at Tottenham. I think Poch, I don't know what's happening with Poch. I think they will sack him because all they want is the Champions League anyway. So, Ivan, I mean, you said to me he hasn't been sacked yet. Are PSG going to sack Poch? And what do you think will happen with the Conte? Are these rumours true? Or is it just somebody just making it up as they go along?
PSG sacking Pochettino, it's definitely going to happen. I believe they're getting rid of every single Argentinian player at their club, and including everyone from Argentina. They're going to get rid of at their club, I believe. I believe they also like Messi. They want him out because he's on ridiculously high wages. He's up there in age, and he shows very little effort on the pitch. Mm-hmm. Di Maria, they want him gone for basically, high wages, up there in age, and what do you call it? They want him gone for those reasons. They have spent an incredible amount of money on the team. Their wage budget is the highest in world football. I think their wage budget is actually the highest in all of professional sports.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
So they're looking to offload the likes of Neymar. I think Mbappe, he's basically gone to Real Madrid on a free transfer at this point. I think that's basically been wrapped up. But yeah, like PSG sacking Pochettino, yeah, that's definitely going to happen. I don't know who they're going to bring in. Like, it could be Conte, but I don't think that Conte has offered himself to PSG. I don't think that is true, because there was only one journalist that published that story, and he was not a very reliable journalist at all.
Yeah.
So
it's not true. I don't believe it's true, to be quite honest with you. And I think that. Sorry, Dermot, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, William, do you think he has to come out in his next press conference and squash these rumours?
No, why should he? No. He should use them to his advantage. So what he should do is say nothing at all, and let the rumor mill go, because what it does is it sends a message to the Tottenham board.
Yeah.
If you don't back me, well, I've got Paris Saint-Germain, and they will back me. The difference is they'll throw money at me, and I can have what I want. So do the right thing in the summer. No, definitely. Why should he have to come out and squash it, Dermot? He's not the one writing the stories.
Yeah.
It makes no difference to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but Yeah, I know what you're
No,
saying, but it was,
you want them personally to come out and do that, or many fans do, because it puts your mind at ease. But it's not about that. What you got to understand in the business world is those sort of rumors will help him get what he wants, and what
so
he
it would give
wants.
him leverage over the
Yes,
board.
exactly. Yes, and he needs that leverage over Levy, because we all know what's happened in the past,
Yeah,
and we
that's
don't
true.
want it to happen this summer. So we've got a world class manager. If you give him the goods, he will deliver. It's just a case of I would if I was Conte and Conte's team, I would be using that as leverage.
Yeah, as well. I mean, young Poddy here put the media loves spreading Hotspur rumours and shaking up the fans. Me personally, I don't think Conte's going anywhere. I think Conte
No.
will be with us next season and the season after. I think if there's a load of players going free at PSG, I think we should be in there. To be honest with you, just try. I mean,
You just got to be careful with the players that they're trying to get rid of, Dermot. You know.
yeah, I know, but if there's
It's,
some good young players that, I know no free transfer, it's a free transfer. But I mean, the like Messi will go back to Barcelona. Di Maria probably go to Spain as well. Neymar, I don't. I think he burnt his bridges at Barcelona, so he'll head back to Brazil.
No, I think I could see Neymar going to the MLS. Maybe not maybe in two seasons or so. But the thing is, to be honest, I think Neymar will stay at PSG because he is on some insane wages.
same wages. Yeah, no one else is going to pay that.
The thing is, he does not care about football. He just apparently there are rumors that he has shown up drunk to training, and he does not care because he is getting insane money.
But isn't it also been rumors reported that that a lot of the players go partying with the club owners at that club?
There have been rumors.
I've heard those stories.
I don't think those are true. Them partying with club owners. The owners are in Qatar, and I don't think that is true. It just doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
But I do think the players partying, not really caring. They're all on insane wages. They don't care about football, to be honest.
I feel sorry for Poch. You know, I feel sorry for Poch.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, even Tuchel came out and said that being a Chelsea manager is much better than being PSG manager because there was too many egos in the PSG dressing room. I mean, the thing is, even Messi, he's an incredible player, but you can see it on the pitch. He's just walking around. He doesn't really care. Neymar, he fakes injuries to miss games and go partying with his friends. I mean, it's just a rotten dressing room, rotten culture.
I feel sorry for Pochettino. I really do. I wish when he took that job, I said to myself, "Oh, please do not take that job." It's not a good job for you.
I think in years and years, I think in a good few years' time, when Conte leaves and won us the league and he's won us the Champions League, I would love to see Poch come back, probably just trying to do to finish the job he started, I think. But I think at this time, I think Conte is the man to take us over that finish line.
I don't think you'll ever see Pochettino back at Spurs.
No. Yeah, me neither.
I don't think so.
To be honest, I don't want him back because
neither do I.
We don't deserve him. Levy just disrespected him. He deserves
he'll just do the same thing as that. Levy will do the same thing what he did the last time. He will not back him. And I'm make this statement now. If Conte goes to Paris Saint-Germain and Levy gets Pochettino back in, I am done with Tottenham until Ennick and Levy are gone. I will not watch their matches. I will not follow them. I've had enough of it because I know exactly where it's leading to.
I think a lot of
disaster.
I think a lot of us older fans are probably getting to that point, William, the same as you.
Yeah.
I think we are getting to that point. I mean, you look at the North London derby coming up, and for us generation, that means something. And like to Islam, it means something. But to some of these other fans, it doesn't mean jack all. It's just another game. And it was somebody I read somewhere the other day. We need to make White Hart Lane that night a fortress, an absolute fortress. That means no tourists, proper fans standing, make it so intimidating that when Arsenal come out of that tunnel, they're thinking, "Shit, we should have played them early in the season."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's got to be that sort of.
It will be that, Dermot. It will be that anyway. But the problem I have is some of those certain players, big occasions, they just do not turn up. You know.
No.
And that's my fear. That's my fear with Tottenham. And until, like I said, until this summer, I'm not laying any judgment anywhere until this summer, because that will tell me everything I need to know about this club.
Big up Barnabas. Thank you for joining us, sir. I'm nervous, but I'm really excited about this running because I think we can do it. I know we can do it. Right, just last thing before we've done about top four. We've done the Brentford game. Summer transfers very quickly. I'll start with you, William, and then I go to Islam. Where's our most important areas do we need to focus on in the summer transfer window?
Look, we definitely need another centre back.
Yeah,
we need a backup goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
In my eyes, I would change Lloris, to be quite honest with you. He still makes me nervous. We definitely need a right wing back. I'd keep Matt Doherty, but I'd get another top class right wing back. I think Reguilon will be sold, and I think Sessegnon, he might hang on to Sessegnon. So you'll need a left wing back. You'll need another midfielder, definitely. And we should be looking for a class striker to go alongside Harry Kane.
Yeah.
I think we need about 6 to 8 players.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's going to happen in one window?
Oh, look, in a perfect world, it would, but with Levy at the helm, no. Honestly, like, we'd be lucky to get 4 players, which is not going to help. It's not going to help. And something needs to give, guys, at this club. Like I said, it needs to give, and it needs to give quick.
Yeah, it really does. Izan, come on, you're the transfer expert on this channel. Who do you think we need to be looking at? I mean, William gave some really great positions where we need to look at. Can you give William some confidence who we might be looking at, and then positions where he's mentioned, like striker, goalkeeper? Who do you think we need to be looking at, and give us fans some hope that we might be getting some decent players in the summer?
Start with the top class and then give me the lower ones.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna be fairly realistic here. I don't think Lautaro Martinez or Nicolo Barella from Inter Milan. I do not think those guys are coming to Spurs. The prices are too high. I think Barella.
What about Lukaku?
No way. I think.
What about Rudiger? He's leaving Chelsea, I've heard today. So
yeah, but
he be a target?
We won't get him because Real Madrid want him. And I think there's another really big club linked with him. I think Juventus and Real Madrid are offering him contracts. Rudiger, no chance. Barella, no chance. Lautaro Martinez, no chance. I have some more realistic names I can give you. So in terms of the main position, I feel that we need center back. That's like the main position that I've heard from like the rumors and whatnot. Particularly a left-sided center back. Yeah. So some good center back that we have been linked with, Pau Torres from Villarreal. There's been rumors that there could be a potential swap deal. So we have Lo Celso out on loan there, who's performing really well for Villarreal. So there have been some rumors that we could give them Lo Celso and around 20 to 25 million pounds for Pau Torres, who in my opinion is a world-class center back. I think this one can be done. This deal could be done. I'm not sure. We've also been linked with Josko. I don't know how to pronounce it. Josko Gvardiol from RB Leipzig. He is another very good center back. He's a left back. He could cover both positions for us. So that's another really good player.
What
We
about
have been
Bastoni?
Bastoni, I would say no chance of that happening.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
Yeah, although Bastoni, he is a very good player. Obviously very young, left-footed center back. I just think the price is too expensive, and I'm not even sure if he has any interest in leaving Italy. There's been rumors of him getting a contract extension at Inter, which I think will likely happen. I don't think that Spurs are going to spend 70 to 80 million pounds for Bastoni.
Yeah.
So yeah, in terms of wing backs, we've been linked with Wilfried Singo from Torino, I believe, in Serie A. He's another good young player. I do like the looks of him. I think that one could happen as well. That's also realistic. In terms of strikers, we've been linked with Giacomo Raspadori. I think he's a very talented young striker from Sassuolo. Let me just check.
That's the Italian team.
Yeah. Sassuolo. He's a striker for Sassuolo. He's a very talented young player. I think he's a good player. Like we could get him, and I'd like to see him at Spurs. I think that is also pretty likely. I think only 20 to 25 million pounds. We could get him. It's mainly Serie A players that we've been linked with. For obvious reasons. We've also been linked with Gleason Bremer, the Torino center back. But I believe Juventus and Inter are most likely to get him, not us. And
I think the one I would go for, would be Pau
problem.
Torres. Torres, definitely.
I think
he makes the most sense, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
And especially with Lo Celso there, and then wanting Lo Celso and the performances that's Lo Celso. Like he's man of the match against Bayern Munich and stuff in the Champions League. So it just makes sense to go for him, you know. But does he want to come to Tottenham? That's the other key.
Yeah, the thing is, last season we were in for him, but I think a lot of teams were in for him, but he rejected all the moves because he said he wanted to play for his hometown team in the Champions League. It was like a boyhood dream for him. So I think now that he's done that, I think he is ready.
Well, he could go on and win it. He could go on and win it, which would be amazing. You know?
Yeah. Also, Real Madrid were after him, but I think they're going to sign Rudiger instead. They also signed Alaba as a left-footed center back, so I don't think they're going to be in for Pau Torres, which is good for us. I think out of all the teams that Pau Torres has been linked with, I think Spurs is most likely because we need a left-footed center back. We have Lo Celso out on loan. They want to make that move permanent, so I think that makes sense. And Pau Torres is a world-class player, in my opinion. So it'd be a really good signing.
Brilliant. I'm quite happy.
What about wing backs, like right side and left side? Is there any good names, good players out there?
In terms of wing backs, we've been, like I said, Wilfried Singo from Torino. I believe he's 22 years old. He's very talented. I do like him. I would take him. That's the one name we've been linked with. We've also been linked with Yannick Carrasco from Atletico Madrid.
Oh, I like him.
I do like him, but I don't think it's going to happen. They're going to want like 50 million pounds for him. We've also been linked with Dodo from Shakhtar Donetsk. He's a very talented right wing back. I like him more than Wilfried Singo, to be honest. He loves getting forward. He's an excellent dribbler. He has tons of flair. I think he's a type of player that we need. He can also play at left wing back. Right wing back is his main position, but he can cover for left wing back. So I think that's a signing that makes sense for us. We've also been linked with Max Aarons, but this is like a very old rumor. Probably going to cost us quite a bit.
I'd have to say an absolute big no to that. I don't think he's good. I don't think he's good enough. If he was good enough, he'd have already been signed by clubs.
Yeah, I think he has injury issues as well.
Yeah, so. He's too lightweight as well. I think he's too small, too lightweight. He's not for me. I just think that'd be a bad. That'd be a typical Tottenham signing that would go wrong. Stay away from that.
We've got young Poddy here saying, and I forgot about we bought this player. It really have forgotten about him, but he's out on loan. Is Pepe Sarr. As far as Jordan Scott, or would you keep him loaned out for next season? I mean, William, what would you do?
Well, we're going to need players. We're going to need squad players because you got to remember as well that starting next year, you can bring on 5 substitutes. So you need to have a big squad now. You need to have prepare. You need to have a good bench. No. Look, we've signed him. Let's get him in. Let's see what he's about. He might hit the ground running. You never know. You just don't know. If he doesn't, then you can think about loaning him out again. But no, he's been out for a season now on loan. It's time to get these young fellas in, see what they can do. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, well, so be it. You just have to move on. That's what football is,
We have Hill out on loan, Gil Messi, which David Harris loves to call him. we will be a believer one day. I love that when he says that, actually. We have that. Yeah. We have Mr. Burger King, who is coming back to us.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Yeah, well, Leon have not picked up wherever. Is it Leon he's at?
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't picked up the option on him, so he's coming back in the summer. I don't know what's happening to Lo Celso, if he's staying where he is, or he's coming
I think he's going to be bought.
Yeah, Lo Celso will stay where he is. One fight will be bought as well, or not one fight.
One fight has been bought.
Yeah, he's been bought. No, I mean Gil Messi. Gil Messi won't be coming back to Tottenham.
I tell you what, I loved him when he came on. At least he showed a bit of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I'd want Gil Messi back, to be honest, because the thing is, we loaned him out without a buy option, so I think he is in our plans still.
Okay, I just don't see it. I just see now that I know that I heard that his family wanted him back in Spain, and now that he's back in Spain, I cannot see his family seeing him go back to England.
He actually he came out and said that those rumors were false. Like on Twitter, he publicly posted that him like not enjoying England or wanting to go back to Spain. Those were false rumors. He publicly posted that on Twitter. So
okay, I still don't believe it though. I still think he's more suited to the Spanish league, to be honest with you.
But the thing is, he is so young, right? And the Spanish league, it's not a joke league, right? It's still quite a high level of football there, and he is really performing really well.
I heard he's playing well, yeah.
And he is so young. Like his ceiling is quite high. I think we could regret this in the future, where we let him go and he just goes crazy for Valencia. And he gets picked up by another team, and we're like, well, why we let him go? It could be similar to a Juan Foyth, but in this case, I think Brian Hill has an even higher ceiling than Foyth. I think it'd be a mistake to let him go.
Yeah. I honestly didn't want Juan Foyth to go. I liked Juan Foyth. I really did. I thought he had there was something about him. He just needed an arm over the shoulder and the right direction. But on the ball, he's very good on the ball. He's very calm and collective.
He is.
And I think it was a terrible thing to let him go.
The thing is, right? At Villarreal, he starts ahead of Aurier at right back.
I know.
We preferred Aurier to him.
I know. It just beggars belief, doesn't it? It honestly does. And what people don't understand is, and what you need to understand is, the Premiership is so difficult. And it's so demanding compared to the likes of the Spanish league and the Italian league and the German league. It is the hardest league in the world to hit the ground running in. So it's harder for players. You see all these players coming over to the Premiership and just failing because they're not mentally and physically ready for the Premiership.
No.
And I feel like the likes of Juan Foyth, he just wasn't physical for that Premiership, but if he worked on him, he could have been a really good player for us.
I think it was also the fact he was quite young. He needed more. He needed more development, and I think it's the same with Brian Hill. He's young right now. He needs some more development. It's good to see him get a lot of first team football. He can slowly build him up to a Premier League level, and then he can be a top class player for us because the ability is there. The dribbling, the technical skill, it's all there. When
most definitely. But the thing with Conte is, though, he's more now. I want it now, not later. This is where I see
Brian Hill could play as a left wing back.
Not defensively. Not defensively.
I just want to very quickly welcome
the
legend that is Bob Spur. He sent a chat in. Big up Bob Spur. Enjoyed your show last night. Really enjoyed it. And please, everyone, go over to Bob Spur. Get your subscriptions. Hit that like button. Hit that notification bell because Bob Spur does the best shows on Saturday night. He says, good evening, beautiful people, and hi to Will too. Great having you on the stream last night, buddy. Fourth is still ours. We will be fine. Bob.
Thanks for having me, Bob.
You are singing to the choir here. We know fourth is ours. I've given up the third bit. We're just going to get fourth. I am now resigned to getting the Tottenham on tour. I've even texted Brian Daigle today to send me over what I need to get because I know we're not going to get third. If West Ham had beaten Chelsea today, I would have been confident of third. But no, we are going to get fourth.
Dermot, you need to look into that whole Tottenham on tour because apparently I heard that Daigle was saying that you have to also, in that bet, you have to get an Arsenal crest as well.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, he can fuck off on that because I'm not getting that done.
Nah, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But bless him, Brian. Big up Brian as well. If you watch, big up Bob Spur. Absolutely. Please, everyone, show that man some love. He's an inspiration to us all in this Spurs community. And he's a lovely gentleman as well.
He's a legend, man.
And his partner. And my names recently are going out of my head, so I do apologise. Arthur and Iris and Kim, all three of them, lovely people, and Bob Spur as well. I mean, he's a gent. So Bob Spur, big up, sir, and I hope you're doing all right. We have Cody Mack also in the chat. Big up, Cody. He's the Father Christmas of Canada because he's got the best beard going, I have to say. And big up, Cody. And then we've got Young Podry saying, since I saw Brian Hill go after Tuorme, I've been a fan. And yeah, I think we can all, brilliant comment. And he also says, bless him, Bob Spur. It's a blessing. William, we're going to wind up now slowly. I think we've got one more thing to go through. Yeah, this is the last one. Players in, players out at the end of the season. Give me a list of players who you want out of the club, who you want Conte right. I want them gone. I don't want them anywhere near pre-season next season.
Are you ready for another hour?
Yeah, fine. We're nearly reaching 2 hours, so I'm trying to get to over 2 hours. So take your time.
Look, unpopular opinion, I would have Lloris gone. I want a top-class keeper that can play the ball on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I actually want the Irish goalkeeper, Bazunu.
Oh, please.
Bazunu.
Oh, please.
Bazunu, yeah.
Is he at Man City?
He's at Man City. He's at Man City. Yeah.
Can we get him on a loan to begin with, and a loan to buy sort of thing? Do you think
I would love
a
him.
deal we could do?
I would absolutely love him. He every time I see him, he just he just looks the part. Because when Lloris gets that ball at his feet, I shit myself every time. Excuse the language, but I do.
Didn't he?
Every game he does it. Yeah, every game, and it scares you. It really does. Look, I'm not against Lloris. He's put in many a great performance for Tottenham, but I just think it's time to change. It's time to move on. But we need a class keeper, though, to move on.
The thing is, there's not that many, like...
No, there's not. I know. I get that, Izan. I get that. Yeah, I know there's not. And that's the problem. There lies the big problem. Look, I'd have Emerson gone. I know a lot of people want Dyer and Davies, maybe gone, but I would keep them because you're going to need the backup. Because I'd get rid of Joe Rodon, I'd get rid of Davinson Sanchez. I wouldn't have Reguilon. He'd be gone. I'd be very close to getting rid of Sessignon as well. I would sell Harry Kane. No, I'm just kidding.
Sell Kane.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. No, I would get rid of Lucas. I'll have David Harris chasing me down in Australia. I would get rid of Lucas Moura, definitely, and I'd sell Bergwijn as well. And Harry Winks. Yes. Yeah. But I don't see anything great about this Bergwijn. I never have. I do not see a player in that guy. I see an attitude. That's not good. And I really don't want it at the club. I think we can do way better than him. Way better than him. Harry Winks, obviously, I'd have him gone as well. But like that's how many players is that? Like you're looking at a whole bloody new team.
I've lost count. I was on my toes at one point. Hang on, let me I need to get the beads out and everything next. Right.
I'm Levy's nightmare.
yeah. I would love. I tell you what. I've just had an image. You and Brian Daigle in with Levy.
Oh Jesus, no.
That wouldn't end well. That wouldn't end well. Levy be in the corner. Here's the checkbook. Here's the debit card.
I'd have to fight Daigle off him first.
No, Daigle would be good. Daigle would be good cop and you'd be bad cop, or you'd be good cop and Daigle would be bad cop. You'll end up walking out with the keys to the safe anyway.
That's it.
Answer Cody Mack's question here.
Do you want me to read it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one's for you.
David Raya is impressive. His distribution yesterday was fantastic. No, David Raya is really a good goalkeeper. He's a Brentford keeper. I do like David Raya. I'm not sure if his shot stopping is the greatest, though. I think there are better keepers than him. But if you told me that we were signing him, I would not complain one bit. I think Dean Henderson from United. I think he'll probably leave in the summer. I think we could get him. He's English as well. I think he'd be a good signing. There's Unai Simon from Athletic Bilbao. I think he's a top class keeper. He's in the Spanish national team. He's a really, really good keeper. I mean, that would be my first choice. I believe West Ham want him. And Bilbao are willing to let him go for around 30 million pounds. So I think that would be a top class signing. Other than there's some other keepers, but like I said, a lot of there's also Meslier from Leeds. We could sign. I think he always has a mistake in him. He's not the best shot stopper. He is good with his feet though. But like I said, replacing Lloris is going to be a tough task. there's not many top class keepers in the world out there. So
No.
yeah, I
Well,
personally I would take Unai Simon or Dean Henderson. But yeah, I don't
Weren't we
think.
looking at Sam Johnson?
Yeah,
yeah.
we were looking at him, but he's not the best with his feet. He is a very good shot stopper. I take him on a free, but I just think we need something better. I think we
Something
need.
better. So do I, and I agree with you
Yeah.
100%.
I do.
We just need someone that's comfortable in that position that can get the ball and spray it around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'd go for the Irish goalkeeper myself, Bazuna. I think
Yeah.
he's class.
Yeah,
Well, look.
Bazunu is top class, and
Yeah.
Well, look, we've come to the end of the show. I have really enjoyed it. It's been a giggle. I've really enjoyed this show.
Good man. It's good to see you back, Dermot.
It is nice to be back. It's nice to be back. I just said it's the first time I've done a show with me on camera instead of me hiding behind it. But look, I'm glad to be back.
Like this, Dermot.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Now you see him. Now you don't.
That's when I make faces.
Exactly. Yeah. I tell you what, I was very quickly. I was watching Dave Allen the other night. I couldn't sleep, and I had Dave Allen on my phone. And I've said this joke before, but I'll say it anyway. There was this fella right walking down the lane in somewhere in Ireland, and he comes across a leprechaun sitting out. The thing that come out, most things come out of Ireland is leprechauns, myths, and legends, right?
Yeah.
If you find a leprechaun, he has to give you the crock of gold. But they're little devils because you take your eye off them, they'll go there. They're gone. So anyway, this fella sees a leprechaun sitting on the fence and he's looking out the field. So this fella grabs him. He says, I gotcha. And the leprechaun now turns around. He says, I want your crock of gold. So the leprechaun says, look at that cow in the field. Right? He man won't take his eye off this leprechaun. Right? And then he said, look at that tree. Now this fella, he won't take it. He says, I'm not taking my eyes off you. He says, you have to give me your crock of gold. So he says, well, I'm not that sort of leprechaun. So I'll give you 3 wishes. But whatever you wish for, he says, your mortal enemy, he says, who I know is Bill Murphy in the town, he says, will get twice as more. Right? The man says, okay, Grant, I'll think about this. So he gives him anyway. So he says, right, I want a 20-bedroom house. Poof, gets the 20-bedroom house. Bill Murphy gets the 30-bedroom house or 40-bedroom house. He goes, Jesus, he says, I didn't know you cared for me, he says. Thank you, sir. Delighted, he said. Then he says, I want 5 supercars, he says. The best cars you can buy. Your man gets 10 supercars. Right? So this fella now, his mortal enemy is quite, happy here. His man goes, I want 60% of my sex drive to go, he says. And the other fella loses everything. That was the moral of Dave Allen's joke. I can't tell it well like he could. But it was really funny stuff. Anyone please get on to Dave Allen. I've just totally flopped. But never mind.
Hey, Dermot, don't be a comedian.
No, I can. It's just that I got a bit nervous. I'll WhatsApp you what happened. All right. So
I'll watch it. I'll watch it on YouTube.
Yeah. It's a bit more
Dave
different
Allen is
than YouTube.
funny. He's funny, though. He's funny. Yeah.
Yes. Well, listen, after me just totally ruining the channel and probably just entered the depths of destruction, I want to thank everyone who's watched. Izan, thanks for all your hard work tonight, sir. And, well, look, bless Cody Mack. He laughed. Cody Mack found it for me. Also, the Garden of Eden.
I laughed too, Dermot. I laughed too.
I know you did. Izan didn't know what to make of it. It's Irish sense of humour. It's just unique. If you hear him talking about the Garden of Eden, that's a funny joke as well. How he does it.
Yeah.
So how Vadim sort of wakes up, he says, and he doesn't know how he's got there. He just goes wandering into the garden, starts gardening. doesn't think how he got here. He's 40-year-old. He doesn't remember none of his childhood or anything. I don't know. Anyway, weird. The Bible's weird sometimes. Anyway, but big up Cody Mack.
You're turned into a prophet now, are you?
Yeah, the prophet is. This is where I'm going to end up. William, get us ready for the North London derby. Go on. Tell us we're going to finish fourth.
What do you want me to say there?
Just be as positive as you can.
Oh, I'm just over the moon with this team at the moment. It's so fantastic to watch us not get a shot on fucking target.
Yeah, I asked you to be positive, not deluded.
The problem is, though, Dermot, I don't know how to play that position deluded.
I play it quite well.
It's just not a part of my makeup.
Oh, Lord. Will we beat Arsenal at the Lane?
Look. The thing is, this is if anybody thinks the top four is over, they're crazy. Okay, this is going to the wire, right down to a point or goal difference. So we're in it. We're in it to win it, as they say. And I won't get disappointed if we don't, because I choose not to anymore. You know what I mean? But look, there's a possibility we can win it, and there's a possibility we might not win it. I hope to God we win it. I hope to God we get it. I don't know why I'm saying win it, because there's fuck all to win. You just get top four. Like, I don't understand that thing. But I hope we get top four. Yes, but there's a chance we could lose it too. And we just gotta roll with the punches now and hope for the best.
That's it. And Izang, can we get top four?
I mean, look, mathematically, definitely possible. Whoever says, like William said, whoever is saying it's over, they're just being overly negative. But look, it's still possible, and I think we can still get it. Usually the North London derby is won by the team playing at home, and we're playing at home, so I still think we can do it. We just need to get a good result against Leicester. They've been having a poor season, and then beat Arsenal, and I think we can do it.
Like, Arsenal will drop points. Anyone who thinks Arsenal are this fantastic team are crazy, because they're not. Yeah. They will drop points. They will definitely drop points. I mean, they played against a Chelsea team that didn't turn up, that threw that match, basically. They played against a poor Man United team that, if Ronaldo wasn't in that team, they wouldn't even score, to be quite honest with you.
If Ronaldo wasn't in the team, they'd probably be in a relegation battle.
Well, yeah. Well, if you look at the stats, it's true. So like, they got two really good fixtures that helped them out, and they were going through a very bad period where they'd lost 3 in a row. Like, at the end of the day, we got to look at it this way: we didn't lose to Brentford. We shouldn't have lost to Brighton either. We should have held on and got the point, because every point matters at this moment in time.
Yeah, it does.
And we might actually look back on the season and go, Jesus, if we had just held on for 2 more minutes against Brighton, that point probably would have got us top 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't give up. That's what I say. You got to go till the end, and we're going to go to the end. This is going to the wire, most definitely, because at the end of the day, it's 2 poor teams that can put in great performances and then turn up the next day and put in terrible performances. So it's not over. No way is it over.
No, and we will get there. We will finish 4th. We will get into the Champions League. Arsenal will finish 5th. We will not allow them to finish at top of us, because I cannot go through St. Tottering Day. Please don't make me go through that.
Dermot, are you deluded again? Because weren't you the one that said we'd finish 3rd?
Yeah, I was also the one that said we'd have been the most successful club in London, but I got talked down by Danny on that one. Which I thought I'm still waiting for Cody Matt to clip that because that's brilliant. So we are the best club one of the best clubs in London. We're not being the most successful, but we're still a big club. We've got the best.
Of course
fans
we are.
in the world.
We're a sleeping joint. We're a sleeping joint, and one day that sleeping joint is going to wake up.
I mean, I think Tottenham's like the Hulk. And the moment we're in Bruce Banner mode, and then we're gonna don't make Tottenham angry. Because you make Tottenham angry, they're gonna become the Hulk. And we will beat Arsenal. We will finish fourth. We will qualify for the Champions League. Izan, go on. Are we gonna beat Arsenal? North London derby? Are we gonna beat Leicester next weekend? And then we've got Leicester, Liverpool, Arsenal. The next 3 games. Do you think we could win 2, get a point in 1?
I think Liverpool. I think it's going to be a loss. To be honest, I'm not expecting.
How would you ever expect that? How would you ever expect that?
Mind you, we're having actually one day. I mean, it took us the last time. I mean, even the great Bill Nick never won at Anfield. And I mean, it took us years to win at Anfield. I mean, I think we hadn't won at Anfield since the Titanic sank to a good few years ago.
Oh, that's fucking wonderful news, Dermot.
Yeah, but that's true. It took us years, even the great Bill. But we can go up to Anfield. We've beaten them in Anfield before. Liverpool are beatable.
Look, every team is beatable, Dermot, but you got to have a realistic look at things.
Well, I
would say we could beat Liverpool if we had went on to beat Brighton and Brentford.
Yeah.
I would have said, we'll be up for this game because that's what 5-6 games in a row now they've won. Their tails are up. They'll go up there and they'll enjoy their football, but not the way it is at the moment. Not the way it is. And the way Liverpool are playing, like, I expect us to put in a performance against Liverpool all the same because they'll allow you the space to play.
Mm-hmm.
They're like Manchester City. They will give you that space to play, but you better be prepared to face them because they are an awesome team and they will tear you to shreds if you allow them.
That's true.
Yeah, with Liverpool, I think that we can put a goal past them because they play a very high line.
Yes.
They'll leave. They're vulnerable to counterattacks. So I think they will leave. They will definitely leave space in behind, and that's probably going to be the main way we can fight back in the game. But to be honest, they have so much offensive firepower. And our defense is pretty terrible, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I could see a scoreline like 4-1, 3-1. I think it's going to be.
Oh God, I hope not, because that would just bring the goal difference down.
Listening to you two tonight, I'm going to go to bed and have nightmares with this now. I'm having bloody nightmares. One with that saying, well, how great, and Jesus, Mary and Joe. I mean, look, well, never mind. Look, I think we're going to get top 4. I think we'll beat Leicester. We'll get a point at Liverpool, and we're going to beat Arsenal.
Oh, look, I think we'll beat Leicester. I think we'll definitely beat Leicester. I'm not too concerned about that because Leicester allow you to play. And I think Tottenham will come out and play against them. As for Liverpool, no, we're not getting nothing out of that game, man. If we get a point out of that game, it would be the best point that this club has ever got, to be honest with you. Because that's how I don't see us getting anything. But, and then the Arsenal game, that's down to the players. It's down. Yeah. The fans will be the 12th man. Basically, they will turn up, but it's down to the team to turn up.
Exactly. And as Bob Spurs always said, there's always Arsenal for about 2 defeats in them. And I think they will lose before us again when they play us. I think
of course they will. Of course they will. They have defeats in them as well. They're just as bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, we're going to end up now. Just very quickly, one last question with you, William. Start with you. Liverpool, Man City for the league first.
Well, it's a hard one for me because my dad's a Manchester City fan and my brother is a Liverpool fan. And my other brother's an Everton fan, so it's a big season in our house. And I'm a Spurs fan, so we're going for top 4. Everton are fighting relegation, and Manchester City and Liverpool are fighting it out for the title. So I think I don't really care who wins it, to be honest with you, Dermot. Like,
it's
not being funny about it.
Doing this for a bit of fun at the
Yeah,
end.
Look. Yeah, I don't care.
Do you think Everton will go down, though?
I hope not.
No.
I really do. I'm worried for them. But I was worried for them when that time they stayed up in the last game of the season. And I remember screaming them on to stay up, and they were 2-0 down. They came back and won 3-2. I think it was against Newcastle. Was it Newcastle?
No, it was Wimbledon at Goodison Park.
Yes. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
That was an unbelievable. I remember watching the game with my brother and just screaming them on to stay up.
Was Harry Kendall in charge of them at the time?
Yes.
He was,
I think so. Yeah. That was an unbelievable comeback from them, because they looked like they were dead and buried. So I wouldn't like to see Everton go down, to be quite honest with you. I think that would be horrendous for that club.
Yeah, I mean, they've never been relegated from the First Division or the Premier League. I think they're one of only 6 sides. Izan, who do you think will win the league, and who do you think Everton will go down?
I think first of all, I think Man City are going to win the league. You know, they just have much more bench depth than Liverpool. Like, one injury can really cripple them. I think with Man City, the only injuries that could really hurt them is in that center back spot.
Yeah.
Or in the defense, but or like the left back slot. But other than that, I think Man City have more depth, and even based on stats, you can see Man City, they're the best team in terms of playing out from the back. They're the best team in terms of pressing. They're the most intense pressers in world football. They're the best team playing out from the back in world football. They have the most possession as well out of all teams in top 5 leagues. So I think, like, just looking at the stats, looking at the league table, looking at the squads, I think Man City are going to win it again.
Do you think Everton will go down?
Do I think Everton? Like, it's so tough because it's either Burnley or Everton. So Burnley have played 33 games and they have 31 points. Everton have played 32 games and they have 29 points. And Everton, who are they have a tough fixture list. They have Chelsea up next, and then Leicester after that, and they have Watford, Brentford, and then Crystal Palace as well, and then Arsenal as their last game. So looking at that fixture list, I mean, Everton could go down. Like, on paper,
God, I hope not.
Because Burnley, who they have next, Watford, which they are the stronger team, but anything could happen there. And then they have Villa. They could possibly get a point there. They have Tottenham as well, and then they have Newcastle. So based on the fixture list, I think Burnley are going to end up staying up and Everton will go down.
That's fair enough.
Because, Everton do have the game in hand, but they have Chelsea next. I don't think they're going to get a point against Chelsea. So I think Everton are going to go down, it's quite ridiculous because looking at their squad, I don't think they should be in the relegation zone. Their squad.
No, but some great teams have gone down in the past that shouldn't be there. You don't have a God-given right to stay in the Premiership. You got to fight for it. And unfortunately, some of their players have not turned up.
No, and they're also blessed with Dele Alli. So, on that bombshell, we should end it there. Yeah. Well, listen, thank you for everyone that's watched. I've really enjoyed this. Thank you to William for coming on. Stay on, William. I'll stop the show in the background very quickly. thank you to Izan for all your hard work doing the stats as well. So you were
excellent,
fantastic.
Izan. Well done, man.
We are back on Tuesday. I'm not sure 12 or 1. We're having a bit of restructure. Bobby's only doing half an hour and that, and then we're going back to our roots. We're going to start showing the old games again. We're going to go back to what we're good for. Next Friday.
Can you show the games, though, Dermot? Sorry to interrupt. Can you show the games where we actually win?
Yes. Next Friday, I'm starting. I will. Yeah. That actually sticks, doesn't it? Hoover started that.
Yeah, I know. It's a joke, man. It's a joke. And can you get my favorite player of all time, Darren Anderton, on the show? I really want to see Darren Anderton.
I've got something to tell you. That's what I'm asking you to stay on. Got something to tell you in the background. What's coming up?
No, Dermot. You're giving me a hot flush.
You're not my type.
Oh my God!
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you get my favorite chairman, Daniel Levy, on the show?
Oh Jesus!
I don't think my channel. Yeah.
Well, could you imagine it? Oh my God!
I think I'll have the queue of I think I'll have the best show on YouTube that night if that happens.
I think the stream would explode with the tension.
I think the first one on the list would be Brian Daigle. Get me on there. Listen, we've got White Hart Lane. I love this man's name. Very quickly, so sorry I've missed it. Well, look, you can watch it back after we're just about finished, but you can watch it back. It's been a joy tonight. We even got Luke ready to do his skydiving in the background.
Skydiving in the back.
Listen, thank you so much for watching. Please hit that Patreon. The link is in the chat. I'll put it in again. As you can see, William is a Patreon member. So is Izan. This is something we're going to do. We're going to bring on the Patreon members and let them talk about their Spurs story. That's a new show that I'll be doing pre-recorded. I'll be interviewing all the Patreon members, talking about the Spurs story as fans growing up as children, up to going to White Hart Lane and their Spurs stories. We're going back to the old games. Next Friday at 10, we have a full match of the 1961 FA Cup final. I'll be getting all the statistics for that season, and also doing a bit of what was the biggest hit in the 60th year of 1961. Little bits of what was the biggest news stories that year as well. So there's a bit of showing a brilliant match, us winning the double, but giving you an insight what the year was like in that year. We're back on Tuesday. We're back Thursday. Me, Mark, and Bobby. Izan, I think you're back with me next Friday if you're free for that.
Yeah, I should be.
And then we're back next Sunday for another late post-match show. I hope William can join me then as well, because I've really enjoyed having him on tonight with everyone as well.
Yeah. No problem, man. I'll do my best. It depends on the times over here.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go at 10:30 the same time.
Okay.
But thank you so much for everyone watching. Have a lovely evening. Enjoy the rest of what's left of your Sunday. I'm going to bed shortly after this because it's actually 10 to 1 in the morning. Izan's probably going to go down to the pub now because it's probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon for him. And William's
I have to look after a child.
Yeah, playing Fortnite with him on the Nintendo Switch.
That's it. Like a big child.
Apart from that, thank you all for watching. God bless you all. And go on, William, take us out. What's them famous words?
Oh, Levy out.
Why is this not working?
We're still